Hello everyone and welcome to another tutorial on Android application development. In this tutorial we will learn the following key concepts. We will be looking into how to add images in your application, how to make use of radio groups and radio buttons, how to use interactive text views, or we can change the values of text views runtime, and how to make use of image buttons. So let's see what will be the final outcome of this demo. If I scroll down, so this is going to be the final outcome of this demo. We will look into how to insert this image. Then next we have a text view, and then we have three different radio buttons. Down below, select pizza toppings. So we have again three different radio buttons. We have another text view to display the bill, and there is an image button as well to display the result. Let me show you the final outcome in a working model. So we will be implementing this pizza ordering kind of applications, a very basic application, how to a very basic applications to order the pizza and display the bill also. If you see, we have an image view over here. We have radio group and three radio buttons. Now these three radio buttons are grouped together, so at a time we can pick one. If I click on small pizza size, you can see only small is selected, and if I change this option to medium, see, we can pick only one option out of these given three, because we placed all these radio buttons into radio groups. And similarly, when we change the radio button, when we select a different radio buttons, the bill is also generated here. So if I click on select pizza topping options, so if I click on pizza toppings, so if you can see the olives is selected now, and now if I click on onions, this also gets selected, and tomatoes. Somehow this bill is not updated, so it should add this in the total. So the total bill should be equal to 9 plus 1. So we will also rectify this issue, and the total bill should be the sum of these two options over here. So I hope this is clear to you now. So let's create a new project and build the similar kind of applications. So I'll go into the file, new project, and we will be starting with the empty activity. Next, and I'm going to give this application a name. We can call it here pizza ordering app. So we already discussed in our last sessions what is package name, so please, I would refer you to those videos. So save location is going to be the default. Make sure the language is Kotlin, and the minimum SDK for this application I'm going with API 7 Android 8.1, which will cover almost 83.5% of the devices. So if I click on finish, so it will take few seconds to generate the template for us, and in that template we can start with. So let me close this previous application over here. Okay, let's activate the activity main, which is the layout file. As you can see now, the main screen or the activity main is ready to design. So first of all, we will get rid of this hello world text, so simply delete. And now, as you can see, in the outcome over here, we will be using an image button, sorry, an image view to display this image. So let's drag and drop an image view into the center. Now this image view will be asking that which image you want to display over here. So far we have not imported any image, so it's better to import the image first and then we will be changing the image. So in order to import this image, expand this res folder, the resource folder. I have already downloaded this image. You can also download the image from the internet. So the name of this image is logo.png, and here the important point is whenever you use any image, it has to be in the lowercase. All its letters should be in lowercase without any space, otherwise you will be facing some challenges. You can use JPG or PNG images. The Android Studio is compatible with both of the image types. So I'm going to drag and drop into the drawable folder here. Now it is highlighting that okay, this image is going to be moved to drawable folders. So click refactor, and if I expand this drawable folder, you can see the logo.png. Let's head back to our activity main, and if I see the image view, the previous image view which we dragged and dropped is cancelled. We cancelled this, so we will do it again now. So drag and drop this image view into the center of your screen. Now here you will see this logo. If the image you have moved in the resource folder properly, then you will see the image available here. So select this image and click OK, and you can see the image is placed into the center. You can adjust the size, the width and height as per your requirements. So I'm putting it into the center over here. Now the next one is we need a text view. So we will simply go into the common palette and we will drag and drop this text view over here to a side, and let's increase the size also. And here in this text view, it will just act as a label, so we will be only displaying the information, nothing else. So I'm going to scroll down the attributes window, and here you can change this text to select pizza size. Press enter, and you can see the text appears in select. The text appears in the text view. We can adjust it into the center, so the text alignment should be centered. We can change the text color to black, so it should be more prominent, and then we can make it bold also. If you wish, if you need, you can increase the font size. I'm going to make it 20 SP scale pixels, so the text is more prominent now. Now the next thing, which is very important, let me show it to you over here. If you see these three radio buttons, basically are placed in radio group. If you don't place them in radio group, then you can select any of them. You can select all of them one by one, which is not the case. So the radio button, the main objective of the radio button is to select the option, to select one option out of the given options actually. So we will be dragging and dropping the radio group first, and then we will place these different radio buttons, these three radio buttons here. So here you can search for radio group. You can go to the palette section and there is a search icon, search for radio group. Here is the radio group. Drag and drop this radio group, and then increase the size. See, I just increased the size with the bounding box. Now inside this radio group we need some radio buttons. So this is very important. I need your attention on the screen, please, everyone. So if I go and search for radio button this time, So drag and drop this radio button. Look at this. Bring your button on top of the radio group. When you see both these objects, both these, you can say, views are pink in color, you can drop it. It means this radio button is going to be the child of this radio group. And you can check it in the hierarchy view also. If you see in the component tree, so this radio button should go inside the radio group. Okay, so let's adjust the radio buttons layout width and height. So I'm going to make it wrap content. See, the width has been reduced to wrap content. And by the way, we can update the text also at the same time. If I scroll down, let's change this text to, so this you can select the pizza size. So we have 3 different sizes available. Small, which will cost us $5. Press enter and you can see. And similarly, we need to give ID to this radio group also, sorry, the radio button. So go to the ID section and we can give a short name to RB means radio button, small. Press enter to register this. So if you will not press enter, you may face lots of challenges. So you need to register this ID by pressing the enter key and click on this refactor. So we are done. Now one more thing here, we need to bring these radio buttons again and again. So what we can do, we can go to the button section and you can see the radio buttons. You can drag and drop again, or you can drag and drop over here also in the component tree. Both ways are okay and you will bring the same results. So I'm going to drag and drop down below in the component tree. So this is radio button 2. So we will be calling it here RD medium. Press enter to register this name. Plus next is the layout width, which is going to be wrap content. Next we will change the text to medium, which is going to be $7. Press enter to register to show this text in the radio button. But if you see, my radio button is not visible here. The problem is this radio group, if you see, its orientation is vertical, means it is going to show these objects one over the other in a stacking order. So we need to change this radio group orientation. So we can scroll down and change the orientation to something which is called horizontal. So scroll down and look for orientation. See, make sure you have selected the radio group, not the radio button. So this orientation attribute is linked with the radio group. So change this orientation to horizontal, and now you can see the medium radio button is also displayed. So we will be repeating the steps and we will be bringing one more radio button for the large pizza size. So drag and drop and scroll up, change the ID to RB large, radio button large. I made a mistake in the previous name also. It should be RB instead of RD. So press enter and refactor. So let's rename this RD medium to RB medium. So I'm going to change this name to RB radio button. So all these buttons should have the same name, which is a very good, you can say, rule whenever you are going to develop any application. So press enter and don't forget to click on the refactor. The last radio button, we need to change the text and the layout. The layout is already its wrap content, so we need to change the text to large. which is going to be $9. That's the price. Press enter. Now if you see, they are very close to each other and we need to give some spaces. In order to give some spaces, we can make use of padding or margins. So select this radio group and scroll down and search for padding. Padding are the spaces inside these objects, while the margins are before and after these objects. So let's look for padding and see how the padding affects, and see how the padding is going to give us the output. So we have a long list here in the attributes window. What we can do, we can search for padding here. So here goes the padding, expand this padding. So we are going to give the padding from the left side or the right side. So if I go and select padding from left, how about giving 5 dp density pixels padding? You can see the text has been slightly moved towards left. So we can add more paddings over here. Instead of padding left 5 dp, we can increase this to 10 dp to center align this. I hope this is okay now. We are comfortable with this. If I click outside, and we can see this. Similarly, if we want to give some spaces to in between, medium and large, so we can select this medium, go for padding from both the sides, left and right. So I'm going to give 2 dp, and from right also 2 dp. So now this radio group looks perfectly fine. So you can play around. If you're not happy with the design, you can play around and you can make it more attractive. So we need one more text view here down below for this toppings option selection. So instead of dragging and dropping the text view again and changing the text and changing the fonts, what we can do, we can duplicate this text view. Control D, we can duplicate this text view. Control C and Control V will duplicate this text view. Now drag it down, as you can see. Now change the text only. So we will be changing the text to select pizza toppings. Now what we can do, we need the similar radio group where we will be having 3 options, and the users can select onion, olives and tomatoes as a topping. So we need one more radio group. So drag and drop this radio group, make sure it is aligned with the above radio group, and increase the size. Then we will be adding more radio buttons here. Make sure this radio group orientation is set to horizontal. So here is the orientation. Change this orientation to horizontal. Now we will drag and drop the radio button, and we will adjust its width to wrap contents, and we will change its name or its ID to RD olives. Click refactor, and now we will change the text to olives. Extra olives will cost us $3. press enter, the text appears over here. If, as you can see, I changed this layout width to wrap content, but it is not showing me the effect. We can manually reduce also. Okay, still it is not showing me the effect. Maybe once we will bring another radio button, it will automatically adjust. So I'm going to drag and drop one more radio button. As you can see, now it is automatically adjusting the width here. So select this second radio button, change its ID to RD onions, not RD, RB, radio buttons. It seems like I'm more comfortable with RD instead of RB. That's why I'm making the mistake again and again. So RB onions, let me select this one and let's make it RB onion as well, radio button. RB olives, refactor, and change this text to onions, which is going to cost us $2, very expensive. Press enter, and let's check again if we can change. Okay, look at this, the layout width. Once we were manually adjusting the layout width, so it gets this value. So delete this value and select wrap content. So see, it is going to adjust automatically. Now the third one, the last one, is radio button, and this is going to be RB tomatoes. Press enter, refactor, and it is going to be wrap content already, and change this text to tomatoes, which is going to cost us $1. Press enter. Similarly, if you are interested to give margins and paddings, it's up to you. You can give margins and paddings to them, and you can adjust their positions also. But I'm comfortable with this layout. Down below, we want to display the total bill. The total bill is going to be again displayed using the text view. So I'm going to copy this text view, Control C, Control V, move it down, and we will call it here total bill, and initial bill is going to be $0.0. And we will be changing the value of this total bill, means the text value, during runtime. That's why we need to give the ID to this text view. So I'm going to call it here text view TV total, or TV bill. Let's make it short. Press enter and refactor. Now we can add an image button in the end for placing the order. So we can go, instead of button, in our previous video sessions we discussed how to make use of these buttons, and in this tutorial we will be using the image button. So drag and drop this image button in the middle. We have different icons available. You can download your own personalized icon as well, and you can make use of. But here I'm going to use the send icon option. Send, yeah, IC menu send. So I'm going to use this icon for my button. Click OK, and you can see you can increase the size if you want, and you can place it into the center. So this is how our layout or the design of our application would be. One last thing which we need to do, we need to change this ID for this image button, which is going to be, we can call it BTN order. Press enter and refactor. Now the last thing is we need to add layout constraints. Otherwise, when we will run this project, everything will be jumbled up, as we have seen in our last videos. So click here in the anywhere in the layout, and then click on this infer constraint, which is going to place these objects automatically, or it is going to give layout information automatically. So I'm going to increase the height of this object to say 50 dp. We can increase more, 100 dp. Yeah, that's perfect. Now if I run this code at this stage, let's see how our output is going to look like. So click on this play button, and the good thing is, in this latest Android Studio, the emulator will be placed here. Another section will be created for the emulator, and you can see the results here. So wait for some time till this application builds. There are background processes which are running to build this application, so you need to wait till you see the result. So our application runs successfully, and it is showing us the output, which looks okay, not very brilliant, but at this stage okay. So only one thing which I can notice over here, the button width is okay, but the height is not appropriate. So let's adjust the height. So let me just give some room. So this is the button. We can increase the height to 100 dp maybe. 100 dp is more. We can change this to 50 dp. Yeah. Now if I run this again, and remember, once your project runs once, the next time when you will rerun your project, it will take less time to show you the results, as you can see. This is good. Now at this stage, if I click on these different radio buttons, it is giving me the perfect results, or the outcome, or the behavior. At a time we can pick one option, okay, not more. So we will also look into how to add checkboxes instead of radio buttons. So checkboxes is going to be very easy as compared to radio buttons. So let's program it now. So whenever we click on this small pizza size, then the bill should get updated. Similarly, if I pick any pizza topping also, the bill should be updated as well. And when we click on this image button, we can place the order also. So let's head back to Android Studio and click on this main activity. Here we will be programming. First of all, we will be creating some variables to link these different views in our application. So to create the variables, we start with the late init var and rb small, that's the name, and this rb small is of type radio button. So we will be typing here radio button, press enter, repeat these steps several times to link all these views which you see in your application. We have medium, radio button large, radio button olives, onion, tomatoes, and text views. So we will be repeating the same steps for the remaining views. So late init var rb medium is of type radio button. I'm going to fast forward this operation so you can follow me on the screen, please. So we have created our variables. Now we need to link these variables with these different views. To link them, we can make use of rb small is equal to find view by id r.id.rb small. Now this rb small, you remember we gave the IDs to our different views over here, so make sure that this is the same ID which we have given over here. If I go back to main activity, if I select this radio button small, this is the rb small ID, and we are linking it over here in r.id.rb small. Repeat the same step again to link the remaining views. So again I'll be fast forwarding over here, so you can follow me on screen, please. So we have linked these variables with these different views over here. We will be creating a function, and this function will be called every time when we click on these different radio buttons. So I'm going to declare a function here. The function is created in Kotlin using the fun keyword, place order, and we are passing one argument called view, and this view is of type view because these are all different views here in our application. This image is a view, text is a view, radio button is a view, so that's why we are passing this view. And you will see the indication over here that we need to import this view, the library, in order to make use of. So bring your cursor here and click on this import, or otherwise you can press Alt Shift Enter to import. So once you click on import, if you go up in the import section, see the import android.view.view is imported. This package is imported in order to use this library, in order to point out to different views in this code here. So I'm going to declare a couple of variables over here again, which is going to be variable pizza size price, and the initial value is going to be 0, and then we will declare another variable topping price. Pizza topping price is going to be initialized with 0 again, and the last one is the total bill, so we will call it here total bill is equal to 0.0f, and it is a floating point number, that's why we are putting f in the end. If you are coming with the background of any other programming language where, like in Java, we make use of switch programming statement, switch case. Now here in Kotlin we use when statement, when and open and close curly brackets. Now inside these curly brackets we can write the code, and we will be making use of the notations over here. Suppose rb small is clicked, then the pizza size price is going to be 5.0. So what we can do, rb small dot is checked. When it is checked, then it is going to be, means if it is a single line code, then you can make use of these annotations here in Kotlin. So the price of the pizza is going to be pizza size price plus equal 5.0f. So it means when we click on this small radio button, So the price should be, pizza size price is equal to be 5.0. By the way, we can write the same line of code like this as well. If you're not comfortable with this formula, you can write pizza size price plus 5.0f. So you can write this code, or the short form for writing the same formula is plus equal 5.0f. So this is going to add in the actual value, which is 0.0 over here, it is going to add 5.0f value in the pizza size price. Similarly, we will be repeating for the remaining two radio buttons to update the pizza price. So if RB medium is checked, then make use of these notations. Pizza size price plus equal, then the price is going to be 7.0f. The last one is pizza large dot is checked, then the price is going to be pizza size price plus equal 9.0f. Now to update this, you need to come out of these curly brackets to update this bill. So the reference to this text view is TV bill. I have not updated over here, so this is good. And if, as you can see, TV bill is grayed out, which means we have not referenced this TV bill to the layout. Now to reference this, I'm going to create a reference over here. TV bill is equal to find view by ID r.id.tv bill. Now see, it is purple in color, which means it is linked with one of the view on our screen. Now we can update this TV bill dot set text, and we can write the price. So total bill is going to be in dollars, dollar plus pizza size price. So if we run this application at this stage, so what we are doing here, whatever the bill we have calculated here, this value we have calculated, so this will be displayed with this text. Total bill is going to be this. So if we run this application, and let's see how the output looks, or how this application behaves. So if I click on small, see, total bill is not being calculated. What could be the reason? The reason is we did not tell our application that whenever we click on these radio buttons, this function should be called. And if you see, we have not used this function, that's why it is still grayed out. So we need to tell in our application that whenever I click on this small radio button, this function should be called. So we will head back to the main activity, the layout section in the attribute sections. Now select the radio button, small, scroll down, there is an on click feature, on click property. So click head, so move to this on click property, or you can search over here on click, and when we click on this radio button small, this place order function should be called, and we already created this place order function in our Kotlin class. So now it is different in color than before because the grayed out option has been taken away. So if I go back, similarly we need to repeat this step for the remaining radio buttons. So if I click on this radio button, so you need to change this on click property to place order, call this function, large also, call this place order function, olives, when we click on it, it should call the place order button. Onions, call the place order function, and similarly call the place order function when we click on the radio button as well. So if we apply these changes, now if I click, still it is not showing me the result. We need to rerun this application. If we are making minor changes, like we are changing the text only, then you can instant run this application. Otherwise you need to run the whole app again. So if I run, if I click on small, see, we are getting the bill $5, $7 and $9. Similarly, if I click on olives, our bill should also be updated with 9 plus 3, $12. So let's add this functionality. Again, we can add the code here. RB olives dot is checked. Then the topping price is going to be, it's the same logic as we discussed in the first three options. We will be using the same logic here, plus equal. If olives are selected, then $3 is going to be additional for the topping price. So here we are giving $3. RB onions dot is checked. Then the pizza topping price is going to be $2, and RB tomatoes dot is checked. Then the pizza topping is going to be $1 extra. Topping price plus equal F. Now, in order to generate the total bill, we will be adding pizza size, price plus the toppings together. So total bill is equal to pizza size price plus topping price, and here we can display total bill. Now if I run this code, run this application again to see the results. Pizza size is small, olives 3. So why the total bill is not 8? So let's check it out. Maybe we need to add this total bill, pizza size price plus topping price, Control X, and let's move it in the when section here. No, we cannot move. Yes, the reason is why it is not showing us the total bill over here, because this when is for one, you can say, radio group. For a second different radio group, so we will be making use of a different when key. So I'm just cutting this code over here, cut, and then we will be using another when key over here, when, add this for topping price, and now let's generate the bill. Total bill is equal to pizza size price plus topping price. So if I run this code again, small 5, this one is it. Now look at this, it is working perfectly fine. The reason was this first radio buttons, this first radio group has 3 radio buttons and they are grouped together. We have another radio group. This is a different radio group with the 3 buttons. That's why we need to use this command twice separately, in other words. So now the last thing which we want to do here, when I click on this button, we want to generate the bill again, or we want to display this bill in a toast. So what we can do, we can go up. We have this btn order over here, and we can create a click event, btn order dot set on click listener. So we will be making use of the second on click listener type, Kotlin. So double click on it. Now here we can write the code, and we can repeat the same code. Control C, Control V, and instead of the text view should also be updated, plus we can display a toast as well. Toast dot make text. Context is get application context, comma, and then we want to display the total bill. So total bill is equal to dollar plus T plus total bill, comma, this toast should be displayed for 3 seconds, dot show. So let's run this code again. So if I select medium pizza size with extra onion toppings, if I click on this, see, total bill is going to be $9. So in our next tutorial, we will also link this application with Firebase database, and we will be pushing this application for the payment as well. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this tutorial session. I'll see you in the next video.